Good job, guys. Well done. Big pat on the back. Round of applause for you guys, truly. But let's jump into me here. So first and foremost, my thoughts on how I'm a pretty critical person when it comes to my own content. So my thoughts, I went to bed last night and I woke up and I'm like, how do I wrap up what I want to say about this character and about my experience? And I think the best way to describe it in a very kind of tongue-in-cheek sort of way is I failed. What? I failed completely and utterly in the aspect of what I sought out to do. I made a character and I had an intention of what that character would be and how I was going to perceive the character and how I wanted the character to be perceived. And I failed entirely in the aspect of being what I wanted to be initially. I said to myself, okay, Stuart is gonna be this kind of piece of shit, you know, oh brother, it's this fucking guy sort of character. You know, people, I wanted people to kind of dislike me, and in a complete twist of fate, everyone liked my character in the most just like basic sense. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you're good at your job, you know what you're doing, we like this person, we like seeing you, all of this kind of stuff. And I went, fuck dude, people liked me, god damn it. And what I failed at is, you know, it's not anyone's fault per se. It's more of I couldn't be a dick. It was, and I'm not saying, oh, I'm Mr. fucking Saint, I'm such a good guy, but I found it too difficult to be an asshole in character. And you could see the metamorphosis. You could see it happen throughout the series. It started, and I was kind of a douche. It was working. I was liking it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of manipulative, kind of an ass. And then kind of by the end of episode 3, I'm just like, I'm just a good guy. I'm just like a lovable idiot, which I just end up doing all the time. You know, I guess I'm a little too good at that in the sense, in the fact of like, I just kind of default to this kind of moron because I'm not a serious RPer. I could probably chameleon around serious RP in my own little way, but I'm not a serious RPer. I'm not much of a, I call them rooftop RPers, people that kind of do long narratives where they talk in a place. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's not something that I do. And so not to prod myself too much, I just think that there was the way the server was kind of was and existed, it was a little difficult. And the reason, and I will give you the reason why I couldn't do this sleazy sort of asshole kind of character, and the reason I kind of made this heel turn is initially there was a server rule that lawyers couldn't be corrupt, they couldn't be criminals, and that was enacted for a majority of time on the server. And I was unable to morph my way into like these crime environments because I didn't want to break the rules. So I said, what do I do here? Well, we go in this direction because obviously I can't be like a, you know, a traitor or backstabber or manipulator, and that's just how it goes. Now, as it continued, that rule was changed. And we kidnapped a police officer the same day. And that was kind of the point, you know, I started talking to Luca a little bit more, and I was calling them on the phone saying the police were coming and stuff like that, you know, just to try and get that in there at the end. But I didn't want to be like a criminal. But by the end, I was kind of really salivating to do some crime or some kind of thing where I can do something. But I think it was too late, and I learned that the server, you know, it really did. If you wanted to be a criminal, you really had to start early, because all the systems that were in place and all the things that you needed to learn and all the items that you needed, it just became a little too much. So that's kind of like my general thinking.